Yeah, I think Aggressive has some issues with the audio here, folks. Once again, yeah. Again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lenovo Tech World India Edition presents Dynamic Duos for Counter Strike Global Offensive. We are back with day number 2 of this series. Apparently, in day number 1, we had a lot of cobblestones lately. Short cobblestones,
Can I be
short
heard?
dust. Yes, now
Okay.
I can hear you loud and
Oh
clear,
my
Aggressive.
god.
But
I was telling you
yeah,
my
there you
whole
go.
life story. I was telling you my whole life story, and suddenly this is happening. Everything was fine a little while ago, and this is what happens. It's part of the process, of course.
I mean, it is part of the process after all. But yeah, we are joined again with my co-caster Aggressive and also me as well, Baba Gusta. We are going to be talking about day 2 as we take a look at the schedules itself. Once again, for the new players, for the newcomers out there who are currently watching the stream right now, this is a best of 1 format. This is single elims in online phase, so only top 4 teams will be selected for the LAN event, which is going to happen in Delhi, of course, which will happen in 16th. You still have like 2 days of gap, and then afterwards you still, you'll be able to practice a lot, and then in the line you'll
True,
be able
true.
to be in the big leagues. But yeah, talk about the schedule itself. We'll take a look at the format once again. Just like we said, we had tons of registrations being made in the online qualifiers. Almost
It's a
we hit
lot of people.
almost like 100 digits, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we went all the way till 100, right? So make sure to check out on Twitter for most of the information, especially in towards the esports club, where we had
Links down below in
almost
the
around
description.
140, right? Yeah, link is in the description, folks. Go ahead and check it out. Make sure to follow our socials, and also check out the new a laptop for the Lenovo. It's really amazing. It's really cool. It's just, you can't wait to get my hands on that. But yeah, talking about the matchup itself, prize pool 50,000 INR, and that too it's just a 2v2 wingman Aggressive.
Yep.
So
It's a
just
lot.
being in the top 4 itself is guaranteed to have an amazing, an amazing time, not only in the Delhi event, but also you get to go home with some good amount as well. Schedule itself, we have a total of 5 matches instead of 4. Starting off, we'll have Indian rivals going up against Precision One Gaming, Patel Esports versus Team Enlaiz, the Rat Syndicate versus Third Like Esports, Batman and Robin versus Too Simple, Deadly Duo, and
Best meme
Team
team.
Carnage. Yep. Team Carnage, we've seen their performance lately in the yesterday's matchup. They were just ensuing chaos on map Cobblestone. But yeah, I seriously
Yeah.
can't wait to see what's going to happen in the final matchup. But talk about the first Indian rivals versus Precision One Gaming. Aggressive, what do you think about this?
We don't have any information on both of these teams, but hey, they made it through the first initial stages. That basically means they deserve to be here, right? They get another chance, duke it out against one another, see who's the better team to get one step closer to that top 4. And yesterday, I'm pretty sure the audience remembers, we had only 4 matches, a little bit lackluster. Maybe maybe there were some problems coming in from the teams. Not every team could make it, but today we're gonna step it up. We're not only gonna give you 4 matches, we're gonna do a 1-up and give you 5. A lot of action to be had throughout the entire stream, and I'm pretty sure that everyone's going to be waiting for Too Simple's matchup. Yesterday, they were phenomenal. Shots coming in all around, beautiful skins on their hands, plus the flicks, man. They know what the hell they're doing. Utility usage on point, flicks were perfect, and I really am hoping to see a little bit more of slow aimers as well. We saw how good slow aimers were yesterday. The way that they played, the way that the utility usage was there. Today, we're not going to be able to see them, but hopefully they can make it through their matches that they have today and see them on day number 3. That's where the real fun will be had from a lot of these particular teams. So we're going to be jumping on down over to the map video, see exactly where both of these current teams are going to be taking us, Precision One and Indian rivals, and pretty much guaranteed Cobblestone will get picked up because you want to play something comfortable, right? Do you want to go to Lake? I don't think so.
Well, at this point, even if players do decide to go on a map like Lake, you always need to be careful on the high ground potential that it gives on that map itself. It's inside the building. You still need to plant the site. You have like 3 layers of floors, which is very difficult for the T side to even get the confirmation on the site itself. And for CTs, it's more of like a safe haven for them too. So I'm pretty sure that the bans will be as expected. this time we won't be able to see Boyard, but instead Cobblestone will be picked. I mean, it was either Short Dust or Cobblestone because that is the most played maps, especially for the dynamic duos for Lenovo Tech World India Edition. So I'm pretty sure that Cobblestone would more of like play as the most played map for the season. And I'm pretty sure that when it comes to the play styles, we're pretty much going to expect like max 7 from the tunnels on B short. It's usually a very comfortable place to be in. If you followed up with a frag grenade, it's much more of a deadly combo for from the side of CTs out there. But all in all, we just have to wait and watch and see who's going to be the teams who will proceed into the top 16 teams. Currently we have a total of 64 teams, as I recall properly. So yes, top 64 teams for day number 2. Out of 64 teams, aggressive, only 4 will go to Delhi. And I've got to
Yep.
ask, since that in the schedules itself and also on day 1, we have we've known quite some teams, but who do you think out of the 64 teams, in which we don't know all of the teams just yet, we know some of them in the schedules? So according to you, aggressive, who amongst the 64 teams will have a spot, and who will be that team who would go to Delhi? Who would it be?
I have a feeling that Too Simple, they deserve it. Just
Oh,
from
nice.
watching how they play, you know that that team is very competent and they're very comfortable when they're playing. The movement is there, and of course, the experience is there too. Soimers is another team. They played Boyard to perfection. Utility was usage was good. They were adapting to certain strategies, and they were playing for crossfires and pincer strategies, which is quite rare in a wingman situation. Unless you're very experienced playing CS:GO, you know how wingman works from top to bottom. You know that the buddy system is very beneficial here. And if you're able to play the man advantage, if you're able to play for the trades that well, you're going to be completely fine. Plus, don't forget, when you go to LAN, it's a best of 5. You don't have a chance to
Yep.
ban out any maps. So you need to have a strong map pool all around to make it to the grand finals and then win it out. Even in the top fours, it's not that easy. There's so much that you need to take into consideration before you get there. Build up that base, have something strong as a foundation, and then you're going to be able to move forward in this tournament. And hopefully, out of the 5 teams, not 5, 10 teams that we see today facing off against one another, we're going to be able to witness some diverse play styles. We already know 2 teams that have kind of, taken the spotlight, being Team Carnage with their unorthodox shotgun based play styles and their knife strategies going it for flanks. And on the other end of the spectrum, there is Team Too Simple, who already know the maps. They have a set playstyle in mind, but let's see if they're able to adapt when they face another force that is similar to them.
If even if I have to say which team would be in the top 4 selection, I'd also go with Slow Aimers and Too Simple, mainly because of
True,
how slow and methodical they are, especially from
true,
Slow
true.
Aimers' side. They always use strategies, they work as a team together. And then you have Too Simple, where you have two individual players who are willing to end things up on winning most of 1v2 gunfights. So clutch moments
True.
versus slow aimers with strategies, it's always the strategies that I love the most, especially on a 2v2 wingman, because you'd never expect one team, you'd see them only use utilities. You might see another team just go heavily towards gunplay itself. There's a lot of mix and match in day 1 itself. We did get to see quite a few examples of it, but day number 2, we still need to see what's going to happen on the first and second matches. And I believe that's the only thing we'll be able to determine which team would actually go on top 4. Just like aggressive said, day 3 is where the magic happens. Day 3 is where
True.
most of a total of 100 teams, that which we had on day 1, now it's day 2 with 64 teams. Day 3, from 64 it'll go all the way to 16, and then we have lower brackets and upper brackets for top 4, which will be a best of 3. And then in the end, the grand finals best of 5, which means you cannot skip Lake, you cannot skip Boyard. You have to play those maps no matter the consequences. So Lake, Oh man, I don't know what to say at this point because on lower brackets, I'm pretty sure that the first thing that they would ban has to be Lake. There's no other choice for that in the best of three. But unless and until if they do decide to go on Lake, I'm pretty sure that the ones who picked the map might have a lot of problems. But at this point, it's just it's like I guess it's a 50-50 chance. I just don't want to give the casters curse just yet. We just have to wait and watch, folks. That's all I can say. But pretty sure you cannot skip Lake on best of five and best of threes. That's for sure.
Yeah, the knife round will just carry a lot of weight when you consider Lake. Come on, you start off on the counter terrorist side. You have
Hmm.
the biggest advantage having those three floors that you can defend. A lot of nooks and corners that you need to go through. And personally, I haven't really played Lake. I was not really one of those people that went out of their way to play arms race, so I have no idea. You can tell me better on that. But I don't feel as though looking at Lake's layout and from what I have seen, I don't think smokes play a part in that map at all.
Smoke really doesn't, but I'm pretty sure flashbangs and grenade does once you get
Yeah,
the proper
of course.
information. So
True, true.
and also rifles wouldn't work out well on Lake, so you'd heavily be relied on shotguns and SMGs a lot more than the M40. Sorry, more than the M4s and the AK. So you'd prefer to have guns which has high fire rate more than the weapons which provides you high damage. So it's up to players' preference, and it always comes down to the way how you play it on Lake, because usually it's short range gunfights. It's usually a bit difficult for most of the players who've been playing wingman for a long time. I mean, usually on wingman competitive, when you play on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you'd always expect short dust, short cobblestone, and we don't get to see a lot of boyard lately, but it's just we do get to see a lot of community maps too. But all in all, competitive maps, it's always a safe haven ground for players out there who just like to get to know the game better, understand properly the methods and strategies of it. And yeah, we just have to just keep playing. We have those two types of mindsets, right? We have the
True.
grinders who always play the game to get better at it, and then we have the innovators like Carnage, who'd always love to bring up a variety amount of shotguns that could end up forcing the other players to adapt in a way that they have to change strategies one by one. So that's the best
True.
part about Counter Strike Global Offensive.
Yep. There's so many different ways to play this particular game that a lot of people forget. That, yeah, I understand CS has a very cemented hierarchy, and when you look at the history of CS, the way that it has been played for years upon years, it's a very old game. And for some reason, you'll see that teams that are innovating, they're the ones who are winning, even though the teams in the past who have very solid foundations and can easily beat another team because of their foundational plays if they are both taking a toe-to-toe approach in the same way. You know that the team that has more experience will always win. But then there are teams who are taking unconventional routes, taking, let's say, five-man rushes from a particular angle where they're all throwing hot flashes in a certain fashion that the other players will never really expect. Slow defaults is not the way to play Counter Strike. In a lot of these different cases, the meta has shifted in more ways than one. And these type of new strategies are what keeps a particular team up on its toes. And in this case, even in Wingman, whoever comes up with a strategy that the other has never really even seen, how many rounds are you going to take to try and adapt to that? That's the real question. Don't forget, Wingman has only what, 16 rounds? There's a
Yeah,
chance
I'm
you're not
pretty
going to be
sure.
able,
Yeah,
even able to make it.
I mean, it's I think yeah, 16 rounds. Match point itself is 9, so 8-8. We haven't seen overtime matchups just yet on the first day itself, so maybe we could expect that to happen on day number 2. Again, once again, we just have to wait. Just waiting for the players on both the sides to get ready so that we'll be able to
Yep,
proceed with our first day of the matchup, which will be cobblestone. So cobblestone,
true.
I'm guessing that on day 1 we've seen around 3 or 4 times, in which most of them they ended up on a 9-0, 9-3. The last final match was Boyard, which was 9-5. The final match itself was definitely an interesting one to watch because it was heavily relied on utilities and strategies, in which we did get to see team slow aimers ended up winning that matchup itself entirely. But yeah, once again, we just have to wait and watch. We just have to wait, folks, because the players on the side of both the sides, I'm pretty sure that we did get the confirmation from our admin side, which means that we are heading off to the knife round, folks. The side to determine which team will go first. Will it be India Rivals or will it be Precision One Gaming? So we just have to wait and watch. Knife round it is, and yeah, we just have to see who will win it. It's basically a coin toss, right?
Yep. The counter terrorists, they're just waiting it out. Number one fight. It's gonna be a one-on-one. That's the first. And yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed for Precision One. Wait a minute, I'm it. Good for the first. The knives are strong, but still Godslayer has the timing for it. Seems to be a pretty good case for both of these teams. And we are gonna be heading on back to our camp for just a little bit so that we can set the final things up for the players. And from there, I would say for Cobblestone, being on the terrace side has its advantages if you know how to play it. That's the thing. If you know how to throw a couple of flashes, general flashes, mind you, and then you know which parts of the map that the counter terrorists like to control, then you're gonna be fine. Of course, you want to start on that CT side if you are not as experienced, I would say. And if you have a proper setup in mind that you know that the terrorists can break through unless they have the proper utility usage in mind. Counter terrorist side, especially when it comes down to wingman, is much more of a personal preference. If you ever played wingman, everyone will always talk about why couldn't I start on the counter terrorist side, because it's much more comfortable to play on this particular side.
Yeah, well, finally, the wait is over, folks. We are heading into the pistol rounds. It will be Precision One Gaming on the side of CT and Indian Rivals on the T side. Like you said, aggressive. If the T side knows how to play, but yeah, Godslayer just immediately start things off with a beautiful headshot. C4's already been downed, and Godslayer knows the exact location on Cherry's location. So he needs to make a push, he needs to make a play, and unfortunately, the only thing that he has right now is a Kevlar vest that can at least help him protect with some shots or two. Good dink. That will force Godslayer on a very low HP. He'll still be alive, but Godslayer will get the second headshot too. Securing things off for round number one. Good utilities and weapons will be at the hands of Precision One Gaming, and for India Rivals, this will be a tough matchup for them unless and until if they turn things around.
That was a pretty good couple of shots coming in, though. Precision One, they have the aim for it. That aim is gonna give them a lot. Good util usage from Godslayer, using the Molotov and the Molly to force them off this particular angle, forcing them back into the awaiting arms of Wolfie, probably. But Indian Rivals, they know they cannot go to the other side. There's probably a pushed up player close by, so they need to take this engagement versus one. Good for the first shot. Godslayer's gonna be perfect with it. The spray does not connect, but he's gonna be able to get out alive regardless. The bomb is with him. Jump down over from the top. You heard the sounds, and he's gonna be able to clean it all up. And a Tech 9 for his troubles, and a 2-0 scoreline for the side of Precision One. Good plays. First two rounds going well, but now with the buys coming in for Indian Rivals, let's see how Precision One retaliates.
Round number 3 will be a go. SG in hand from Amit. A really a good one, because on long range it has a higher chances of a one-shot headshot potential if you're in a perfect positioning. But
no!
Need to be careful of the smokes. A lot of damage being dealt around from Cherry. He's currently the one having the AK in hand. Let's not forget, this is a whole buy round from Indian Rivals. Saved on round number 2, and this could definitely help them a lot. Headshot. Cherry takes out Wolfie, but he is very low on HP. 17 HP left. Godslayer using utilities as best as possible. You even have the flashes and incendiaries being used. And now Indian Rivals, they're just trying to get good information out of it. They have control on LT. Smoke's been used. They're thinking of going for the control or maybe go in for a trade. Information will be given. Amit, he gets a shot. Yes, he does. Round number 2, perfectly calculated. All they had to do was just play safe. And eventually they did. Round number 2, they didn't buy anything. The only thing that they bought was just Tech 9 and P250s. And that definitely will help them in their economic growth too. Round number 4, Indian Rivals, once again trying to secure the lead. The biggest problem is 2-2 will be a difficult task for them.
Yep. That's not only going to be a difficult task because of the scoreline, plus they have to worry about their economy. They are fully invested now. M4A1S coming out for one and an M4A4 on the other. How will these weapons work out? God's there, good for the first headshot. He's looking for more. The spray is good. And with a re-swing, he's going to be able to get the double. A dub for them and a 3-1 scoreline. Indian Rivals, they tried their best for that engagement, but with those deaths, the economy is going to take a hit, but I do believe they're still going to be able to go in for a buy if they want to.
They could go in for a buy, but the main problem is they wasted a lot of utilities because Indian Rivals, they had smokes, they had grenades, they had flashes, and now they had nothing. But now, talking about this important pick from Amit, post God's left in a very aggressive positioning. He will get one and the second two, cleans it off. He will secure one more win from the CT side. Looks like Godslayer is doing all the heavy lifting here, folks. Smokes and flashbang was still present from his end, but he decided to go aggressive, finds two of the players, and gets those 2 kills. And it looks like Precision 1 Gaming are in a very good lead here, aggressive 4-1.
Absolutely nothing to worry about for them. Good pre-fire, nearly catches out on one of the players too. Angle's good, and Godster is just so prepared for it. You can see the experience under his belt for that one. The man just knows what to expect and the timings for it. Precision 1 in tune and in tandem. Indian Rivals though, what's the answer? Cherry trying to go in for a couple of baits. See if he can force them out, but the sounds are already coming in, and Godslayer has the perfect timing for it, but the wraparound. Cherry, he's playing this one smart here, Baba. There's a good chance he might walk away with a kill, but Godslayer, he knows. He's expecting it. Free kill, he gets it. Just look at this guy. He already knows. He's expecting the timings, and he's reading them like an open book.
Yeah, timing is important. And Precision 1, they know that round number 8 will be a full-on buy from the T side. So grenades, smokes, they will make sure to get good use of it. Op in hand from Amit. We've seen how dangerous he is with the SG rifle. He could do the same thing with the Op too. So if Wolfie secures it, he will gain not only just the man advantage, but the whole axis of B long towards his. Opportunity will be missed once again, but at least on the bright side, they have information, and that information turns out disastrous for Wolfie. 2 kills, and just like that, we will see them put themselves back in the lead here, folks. 6-1. The T side, they've gone in for 2 eco buys. 2 eco buys, and even though that they failed to do so, winning the next round and not being able to win it is actually a very difficult one to do. So Molotovs being tossed around, they decide to go aggressive, but in the end, in the first half, they couldn't do anything much more about it. Ending the first half on a 7-1. Indian Rivals, they did all they could on the T side, but here's the bigger problem. Role swap, CTs, it's at the hands of Indian Rivals, so you could say that 7-1 could end up on a 7-7 here.
There's a chance, but looking at the utility usage, I'm a little bit more skeptical about this. You know that as well, Baba, that if the utility usage is not that proper coming in from Indian Rivals here in this first engagement, it's not going to look that good, but the trades are just so perfect. He's going to be good for the first, and he's going to be good for the second. He's now stepping up, and he is bringing in the hurt. Good shots and good plays all around. As Precision 1, they're at match point. They're looking to close things off in style, possibly.
Match point, 12 kills to Godslayer. My goodness. Especially on a wingman, being the one able to deliver good possible shots. This could be the end. Sherry will at least try to equal things out, but the information that they've gained could bring Indian Rivals back. The plus side about it is that he'll be having good weapons as well. Galil and Mac-10, no AK-47s being bought from Precision 1 Gaming, so they still have a chance for them to bring this back on round number 12. But the biggest problem of it all is that Precision One Gaming is in match point. So if Indian Rivals makes one single mistake, it's all over.
It's a long road for them to climb out of, but these deagles could also be another issue. Don't forget how powerful this weapon can be. 3 shots to the body and are absolutely demolished if you're not careful. You gotta take this engagement slow and steady. Timing is key, and Amit looking to be a little bit of a danger man, but I think he's watching too many angles at once. There's a good chance he's gonna get popped out and just swung on if he's not careful.
He's much afraid, but with the
Told ya.
Unforgiven, what?
I
Oh
told you.
man, that's definitely going to
Oh!
hurt for them. Wolfie secures 2 Ds. And with that, folks, we will see Precision One Gaming head off to the next phase. Congratulations to them. Out of 64 teams, we will see Precision One Gaming head off to the next phase to them. Congratulations. And for the side of the CTs, and boy, that's definitely going to hurt for them. But at least on the bright side, I could say that their utility game was really strong. The only difference was the information game that eventually
True.
Precision One did end up getting the bigger advantage of it.
I would just like to confirm one thing, that whenever you're holding a scout, doesn't matter what position that you're trying to hold one particular angle. Don't try to juggle between 3 different sides or stuff like this is guaranteed to happen. You're not going to be prepared for them to swing out into you. You're going to get caught off guard. Doesn't matter if you're the best player in the entire world. If you try to hold 3 different angles, you're going to get popped in the head. Because as a human, you're bound to make a mistake. You're going to react very slowly to stuff like that. And Wolfie just got a free shot. He just walks straight into his crosshair, one tap to the face with the deagle. Stuff like this happens. It's about the experience of a player versus their raw mechanical skill, of course. And here, Wolfie, he was just very experienced. He waited for Amit to make the mistake. They played for the timing. When you think about it, right? Precision One, they didn't opt to go in for a very aggressive push. They waited it out over on the other side, and then slowly but surely they pushed up into the counter. Caught them off on the timing, and with that, they were able to take the map. Smart plays all around when it comes down to their wingman plays, and I do believe that we have another team that are capable of reaching the top 4 already here, Baba.
Yeah, it'll be a bigger competition too, especially when they go up against either too simple or slow aimers. But we still need to wait and watch and see whether if they can, head off, because we still have our fourth and fifth matches, which is going to happen right about now. But second match, that is, I could say the first match itself, it was really well done from Precision One Gaming, and I've got to admit,
True.
Amit, the save buys, the eco rounds, and proceeding the eco round with winning the AK rounds are very important to do so. And although they did secure one of those important rounds, we did get to see one of the rounds from Precision One Gaming where they didn't had any utilities. They just went with M4s and Kevlar vests, and they decided to just contest these lines of sight with just pure gunfight, and securing those wins is exactly what put Precision One Gaming to put themselves on a very huge lead in the first half itself on the
Mhm.
CT side. But yeah, like you said, aggressive. If you're in the T side, if you know how to attack exactly and remove players off one by one, it would definitely help you on a map like Short Cobblestone. And turns
Yep.
out Precision One Gaming will do exactly that. 9 to 2, 12 kills to Godslayer, and 7 kills to Wolfie.
It's just smart all around. Godslayer just did what he does best. He just tapped heads, and Wolfie joined him on the side. 57% headshot percentage. The man got most of his kills just from hitting headshots. Now, that is saying something. He did it all, and for his team, he bared the fruit as well. 9-2, nicely done from Precision One. They should be able to make it to the top 3 because of what we can see from their playstyle. Not really a lot of mistakes whatsoever. But moving on back from all of that, what I really am interested to see, how well can they go? How well can they play up against the other up and coming teams that we were talking about? Too Simple are going to be playing today in their own matchup, and if they lose that, you know that there's a better team than Too Simple, and we already dubbed them to be one of the best teams.
Right? Yeah, Too Simple currently they have match number 4 up against
Yep.
Batman and Robin. Interesting names.
Best
And
name
then
ever.
Team Carnage, who will go up against Deadly Duos. But talk about match number 2. We have Patel Esports versus Team Enlaiz. Enlaiz? L-I-S? Is it pronounced as Enlaiz or Enlays? Because it's written as L-A-I-Z.
We'll find that out
So
later.
I think it's Enlays or Enlies, but I don't know. We're just gonna have that slight discussion with aggressive here as we take a short little break, and we'll be right back with match number 2. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back again to Lenovo Tech World. India Edition presents dynamic duos for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And once again, we will be back with our second matchup. Let's take a look at the schedule itself. We had day one, match number one, Indian Rivals versus Precision One Gaming. We will see Precision One head off to the next phase, and now we will see Patel Esports going up against Team Enlaiz. So aggressive. Patel versus Enlaiz. Map V2 as we take a look at it. What do you think which map we will see? Cobblestone.
I was
Hey.
surprised, Steven.
I
Of
mean,
course, it's cobblestone.
actually, you know what? How about we just act surprised really quick because it's Cobblestone? I mean, it's almost like the
You
fifth
already
time we're
ruined it.
seeing map
You
Cobblestone
already
being
ruined it.
picked, but yeah, I already
Imagine a
ruined it.
team bans short dust and bans
Mhm.
cobblestone. Yes.
Oh man,
Hey, that was Team
let's go
Slow
that.
Aimers, right?
Yeah, I think it was Slow Aimers who did that, and Boyard was the map which was picked at the last. So Short Dust and Cobblestone was banned on map number two, on ban number 2 and 3. But yeah, Cobblestone and Short Dust was banned when Team Slow Aimers was doing it. But talk about this match though, Team Enlays just straight off just bans Lake because you really don't want to play Lake on Wingman,
Who
especially
wants
on
to
a
play Leaf?
2v2 with a huge prize pool of 50,000 and top 4 teams having a spot into the LAN event. So it's high stakes. And they've got to make sure that everything works out well. And Cobblestone has definitely
Oh my
become
God, it's
has
Quake
definitely
and
become a
Gorog.
home ground. Yeah. Yep. It's definitely, man.
Okay, now this will be very interesting because we know how good both of these guys are when it comes down to their aim. Maybe speaking a little bit too much out of line. Gorog missed a couple of shots, but Quake is there to back him up. It's completely fine. Want to know Patel Esports coming on back strong? That was a little bit questionable coming in from Gorog, and you guys could be saying like, why are you saying that? Because the thing is, Gorog is a very well-known professional player. He used to play this game a lot back in the day, and I think he's just a little bit out of practice.
Yep. I mean, it's round number one. It's pistol round. Anything could happen. But yeah, there you go. Round number two itself. We will finally see Goran secure the kill with the UMP. The second won't be a problem at all. 2-0. CTs once again starting things off with a bang. At this point, Cobblestone is basically CT's territory at this point.
Yeah, unless you know how to throw proper smokes as a terrorist, there is no way you're gonna be able to break in through any of these lines. Pop flashes are a must. You need to have experience to play this map out properly. A little bit questionable when it came down to the smoke. Quake not really lining it up, but that's completely fine because he has the raw mechanical skill for it and he has the confidence. Swing out, possibly Quake playing with fire against that rifle, but good for the tap. Nearly got the headshot. That's gonna tag on the body and Gorong taking a little bit too much of an aggressive angle. Does get caught out of position. He pays the price and it's now all up to Quake. Very low HP on both of the players. So he just needs to play this one smartly. Take the engagements together, but look at the double up. Enlaiz, they're trying to go in for the double take, but look at the timing. Quake, he's not going in for the wraparound. I don't think they're gonna expect it. Positions are good. The smoke is just about to fade. He's gonna walk up looking for the first, looking for the second, knows exactly where he is. 1 HP on the body, just throw a nade at him. Put him in the chest. And it's done. Patel Esports, they take another round for themselves as Enlaiz. They had the perfect idea, but the timing was favoring Quake instead.
I mean, you gotta admire the patience that Not Quake had. He just heard both the players from the side of Team Enlays just drop down from LT. So he just had to play it patiently, wait for them to go in for the plant, and once he had the element of surprise, he could just eliminate them without facing any issues at all. Smoke's been thrown around, lines of sight's been blocked once again. Goran is just going to hold things off on LT. Pop Flash won't be able to find one as of now. Wasted utility. But from the CT side, they still have two more, and it's still at the hands of Not Quake. Not Quake is so on point with the shots. Once again, he'll be the one to end things once again in round number 5 to 4-0. Patel Esports are dominating right now up against Team Enlays. I've got to say, for Tyrant and Kierenbergs, things will be a bit much more difficult for them because they're going in for Mac 10s. So higher potential of a rush on B long. So hopefully not Quake and Goron should be ready for this.
Wrong's on the side. Already got the first. Looking for the second. 3 kills for him. They're just jumping on down straight into the fire, into his awaiting arms. Good shots all around. Patel Esports, they take a 5-0 for themselves. And it does seem to be a little bit more of a one-sided affair, but Team Enlaiz, they're just a little bit unsure of what they really need to do. That's why the knife rounds are so crucial when you go in for maps like this. Unless you have experience playing the terrorist side, you're just gonna get completely bodied if you're not careful. Looking at the positioning as well, they already have the double-sided pincer. But at Esports, they have the timing for it, and Garong's already in the backlines. Looking for another kill, knows the exact position, swing out, and a 1 tap to the face. 6-0. Patel Esports, they take another round in style.
I mean, you just gotta love Goron's confidence. Pushing through the Molotov, and once they hear the burning sound, both of the players from the side of Team Enlaiz just said, wait a minute, one of them is actually pushing from the top, and once again it's Goron, headshot to take out Kirenbergs. And a grenade too, to force out or deal major damage from the T side. Once again, it is a safe round. Actually, it's an eco round. Once again, I need to stop saying save round. It's an eco round from Team Inlays. Pistols only. No, now for Flash will be able to shrink one of the players. But here comes Goran at the right time to save his team, not being able to give major value to the eco round, and would put at a very substantial lead here. Aggressive 7-0. This could end a first half on a flawless win.
Possibly. I don't think we have seen a flawless win from any of our teams up till now. At least one round was given away to one particular squad, but Quake, now on the other side, Garong with the open hand, looks to be a little bit of a danger man on his own part. Flashes are good, but Quake is just way quicker on the trigger. On the other side of the map, he's having his own little fun on the drop side. Takes a couple of kills and they're completely fine with it. All around, Patel Esports, they're just very confident. What can he do?
Confident and also on match point aggressive. And if they win this, we will have a 9-0 flawless win from Patel Esports. Goran once again going in for those flashes. Grenades to make major damage, and turns out Goran is going to lose it. Oh, unfortunate. Quick trades will be made. Information will be given too that one of them has already been dropped down from LT. But not to worry, you still have the barrels. You can just come back all the way to the T side. And Cobblestone, you know, back then they didn't made rework. It's been a long time since we had the Cobblestone rework. That's exactly where the barrels was introduced. So now the team set can go all the way from the backside, but Kirenbergs immediately sees the info. Good flick, great shot from the USP, and Team Inlays will at least deny the humiliation. 8-1. SMGs in hand, but match point is still in for Patel Esports. Once again, they will head in with Mac 10s.
They're going in for the rush. They do not want to save whatsoever. They know the advantages. They know how fast they can take these sides. Good for maybe one kill. Doesn't really happen. The shots are not connecting. And Tyrant and Kierenbergs, they have a system in place to try and shut down Patel Esports now. The shots are good from either side, and they're able to capitalize. But the real question is, for how long can they last? Patel Esports finally opting to go in for a save with just Deagle buys in their hands. But these Deagles can easily change everything if you're not careful! Good God, Quake. Show some respect to the man. You gotta be careful when it comes out of plays like this. And 2 taps to the body and 1 more to the chest. And he's completely done for. Tyrant, what do you have? Do you have the clutch gene? Or are you gonna fall to the floor?
Oh, he could get pushed out of existence. Oh, he did. Oh, he did. 9-2. Let's take a look at that in the instant replay too. My God, those D shots from Quake. Oh, my goodness. Such a deadly combination, folks. And I'm pretty sure that from the side of Team Enlays, we're definitely not going to be happy about this result. But Patel Esports, man, what a quick play from the CTs, and what an amazing performance that we did get to see from not Quake. I'm not gonna lie, it was just
It's
so
Quake,
good with
man.
from CETs. I mean, it's Quake. I
You,
mean,
you can't stop him.
you can't stop him. He's unstoppable at this point. You know.
The guy just knows how to play the game on a level that we have seen. Like, we haven't seen this guy play this game for years. He's finally making a comeback over towards CS. Source 2 is also around the corner. We never really know what to expect. A lot of the old names, the old players, they're going to be coming on back. And seeing Quake and Garong here, the dynamic duo under the Patel Esports title, it's just, it's like a breath of fresh air, I would say. Seeing these old faces back here on towards the server, playing the game that they used to love a lot, now having that resurgence. But that esports, like as soon as I saw both of those names, I'm like, yeah, this is also a top 4 team. Like they can easily make it to the top 4. They're maybe a little bit rusty. You got to put some oil on those gears and get it rolling, but give them some time. They're gonna be top 4 material by the end of this tournament, and they're the ones, they have a good chance of heading over to Delhi to make it to that land. We have 4 teams in hand already. We named 4 teams that could make it, but there are a
Mhm.
lot more matches that need to be played and a lot more teams that need to be seen to see exactly who's going to be making it to that top 4. We don't know just yet, but for now, we're going to be waiting it out for the scoreboard. And for Enlaiz, it's just an experience difference. Went up against very experienced players who have played this game for years upon years before they shifted to another title. Now that they're coming back, that experience is still there. They may be rusty, but they still know how to play the game properly on a very high level. So you need to be careful about that. So pat yourself on the back. You tried your best, but there are more tournaments down the line that you can try out for. Let it be Wingman or even 5v5. You never really know. So make sure to check out all the links down below in the description and follow our socials for more information. Because here at the Esports Club, we have a lot of tournaments in mind, so you don't want to miss out on any of that.
Absolutely. Make sure to not miss anything, and also make sure to check. Make sure to take a look at Lenovo's finest latest edition for the Legion laptops. Link is in the description too. Go ahead, check it out, and make sure to catch it if you get the chance. But talking about the whole brackets, as I'm taking a look at it right now, we just had the matchup between Patel Esports and Team Enlaiz. We still, like we said, there is a lot of teams, total of 64. So some of the matches will be offline.